Power up and level up at any moment. Spitting like a semi, only give me semicolon. Global zeros.
On a chilly December afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, baby. Ready. Let's make these babies proud all the way back home, yo.
Spaced. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And a return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Kill. Let's go.
Now Joe Mixon.
Check 15.
Room here to run. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Here we go.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And unable to get downhill there. He'll take this up to about the 37.
Sam Hubbard on the tackle. 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 37-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, tighten down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Okay, ready, 252. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Yes. That's it. Mike 52. Mike 52. I got you. Pump. Check.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Watch the shift. Watch the shift.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Brown came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of legs.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Check 9. Check 9. Deep grip.
Mixon. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
No, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He sets to fire deep. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it. Couldn't get it. And it's second down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
He's got the first down inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against.
And that's caught inside the 35. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 41 yards. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. 21-0 our score after 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Watch out.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
Set up, 18 Gator.
3 bucks.
Look, squeeze. General West. Ready.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15.
It's now 3rd down and 1.
Break.
55 to Mike. Check, 55 to Mike. Hey, watch the slant.
Get.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Taking it about the 16. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Watch it.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Looking to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
No, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Now back to throw. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Now here's Ross. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That 3rd one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
That's fielded in the end zone.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And some room to work. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run here with Mixon, and he'll be taken down at the 34. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Here we go, set, 60 Pittsburgh. Stand.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he finds Tyler Kroft. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
1st down, Pittsburgh.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And nearly intercepted. That would have been a hat trick, his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 40. Back to throw. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
50, plant.
Let's go, team.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
To the sideline and incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Come on,
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
I hope you brought your left, because I'm
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 23-yard line.
Let's go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Ready.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Let's go.
Hey, Charlie. Let's go get it.
They'll set up to throw. Got a man. It's Ross. Complete. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On the set.
Check 55 to Mike. I'm coming.
Now.
Mixon with a first down carry. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down.
Championships, baby. 55 to go.
They'll drop the throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Devin Bush and the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Tight end right. Tight end right. 3 out. 3. Let's go. Let's
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jordan Evans make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. That goes for a gain of 31. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. 2nd and 9 now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
He'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That time 12 yards on the pass play, but still shy of where they needed to go. 4th and goal. Sanders' kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, 68 yards. Well, the Bengals, they widen their lead. Now, you talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that it's demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out coaches screaming, tackle it, get it. And after that last touchdown, I bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. 2nd and 11. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw here. And the grab by Croft. And all the way down to the 35. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 45 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They're going to look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. On play action, they'll throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27, no 1st down. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll look to throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Bengals will get the football back. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Hey, lock it.
Check, check. Lucky. Hit it.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Here we go, set. 15 line. Leo. Ready.
Nixon will try the right side. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch 54.
Buzz. Now.
He'll look to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock.
Mixon hit, and the ball is out. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And Every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 30 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Wide open receiver complete. A good pick up there of 20 yards. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. And now the Steeler offense staying out there, and they'll go for 2.
Here we go. Motion, check. Shift.
They'll try and throw for it. This is caught. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, and that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've got the 2-score lead. Look, though, they fumbled last possession, led to a touchdown. So while things look good here at this stage in the 4th, they got to be careful.
Well, they definitely do, because they've actually brought them back into it, haven't they? They've given them hope once again. Their purpose on this drive, squash that hope one more time.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 21-yard line.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Hard.
Out. Check nickel.
Clear.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Let's go, D.
Let's go.
Going to give this time to the tailback. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. The Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Mixon running right. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Going deep downfield for Ross. And got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes. and put this one in the left-hand column. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Mixon. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that upright. And they're denied a chance at 3 points.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Evans in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Eluding the pressure right. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Drop to throw. It's caught. Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic. I got him.
Second and 10. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Juju Smith-Schuster, the target once again. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off inside the 10, and the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Escaping the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was a game where